This is Eric L. Dunavant, the Mindset Disruption Strategist, and you've joined us again for another episode of Redefining Success. Today, joining me is Daniel Laudon, who is one of the owners of Nature's Warehouse, which is a Christian company in the supplement space. I am excited to kind of pull together their story, but I'm also looking forward to my conversation here with Daniel today because, Daniel, I've been described myself as a health nut. I try not to own it too much, but I saw on your website, I think that's the title you gave yourself. So probably two kindred spirits here. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, Daniel, before we kind of dive into things, my first question is always the same. It's a Saturday afternoon. We're hanging out in the backyard. I got the barbecue grill going, and I've invited all my friends over. My friends are my listeners. Would you please introduce yourself to my friends?
Okay. So I don't have any, I always look for connections with people. I would probably be, if you were my neighbor, I would be the guy up the road. If I had come out of town, I'm his friend out of town. I don't have I don't have any initials in front of my name or anything like that. I'm an average Joe. So I honestly, somewhat of my goal is to be an average Joe that's just that is able to bring value into people's lives as they get to know me.
Okay. Are you married? Any children? Any?
Yes. Yep. I have two kids, 12 and 14, and beautiful wife.
Awesome. Awesome. Daniel, tell me what are you passionate about?
I love business. And I love building something, like taking something and seeing it work, seeing it win. And that journey has of doing that. Has moved me into this just of late. So in the last 7 years, as I took over my parents' company. And my passion 3 years ago would have been just to see people healthier and sell supplements. But COVID has changed that a little bit. And today my passion is to help people understand that they are more in control of their health and their future than they think they are. And then take them down the path of understanding that the health and all the things that our company has stood for 25 years. But during COVID, we seen so many people trust the science, whatever that means. And the science was forever changing. It created a lot of maybe distrust or unsurety. Like there's so many different voices right now on the whole topic, but ultimately there is somewhat of a distrust and questioning things. And I'm trying to help people to realize that they are ultimately responsible for their own health, nobody else. So you got to trust yourself when it comes to your own health.
Yeah.
And your family's health.
So this is something your parents started? I mean, so if we kind of go back in time, the journey of really starting to kind of uncover this is your parents started.
Sure.
Do I understand that correctly?
Yeah. My parents and a younger sibling, two younger siblings were involved, and then I had another sibling. There were 7 kids in the family. We were all home births. Mom lived this way. We lived this way our whole lives. Like always organics, always eating weird. We're the ones that stuck out in the crowd. Always. When it wasn't cool. Nowadays, it's almost cool to be that way. But it wasn't back then. And she would have kind of been like a part of the hippie movement, but being a Christian, she didn't really mesh there. She was kind of an individual all herself. My dad too. Of course, the food side of things, Mom was a little bit more studying, paying attention. If one of those kids were sick, she wasn't running to the doctor. She had voices, people that she reached out to for direction, holistic doctors. nutritionalist, those type of things. So it was our family. It's who I am. I had grown up, I was 20, 22, 23, had left home, was working construction. And as I think what happened, my opinion, all us kids were kind of getting older, and she needed a next chapter.
Okay.
My younger brother, who is just an awesome businessman, and he's a thinker, right? He started putting she wanted to start selling herbs on the back porch. But we lived in upstate New York, half an hour from Canada, not a neighbor for a half a mile. So there wasn't a great business there. And he said, Mom, you're onto something. Let's make a catalog. Let's put it out there. And so we had a farm. My parents had a farm at that time. So that's what they did. They started making some supplements and selling other people's supplements on the back porch, making a catalog, starting to get some stock. It went from a back porch to a $3 million company in about 7 years.
Wow.
So if that kind of gives you, he is no longer, my brother who started with my sister, I had another sister, she's no longer with the company. Neither are no longer with the company, but that brother that helped my parents, he took the manufacturing part. So they own a company, manufacturing, it was all one. He took that. Mom and dad kept the retail. Then I got the phone call, 20 years in, my youngest brother was still involved. It's a family business, but the kids were getting older, doing this and doing that, and one sister's on the mission field, another, and dad wants to retire.
Okay.
And that's when I entered the picture. And I had been doing business, but nothing in this space. But it's a hard business to sell, and I understood it because I grew up this way.
Sure.
It's my life. It's still
sure. So what year was it that you came into the business?
Well, see, this is 22, is 16, I think. It's about 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago.
Okay.
Through the whole transfer.
So for the first 3 or 4 years, you're kind of doing business as usual and what you've been doing, and then we hit COVID.
Yeah.
And that completely, I imagine, just completely changed the direction or kind of the thinking and the opportunity inside the business. Is that right?
Yeah. That would be fair to say. It confirmed things that my mom had been saying forever, and lit our phones up. We went from from just a regular business, just doing business and normal. And of course, since I took over the business from my parents, we tripled. So, Dad had kind of a plan in place, like, well, this is to be the next phase. My brother and I performed that. It went well. We've tripled in size. Things are going steady. And then all of a sudden, COVID hits. The phones are lighting up. We got really, really busy. Thought we're gonna really do well through this time, and then all the vendors ran out of product, which became a real problem in the supplement world. Was all the product, like as soon as they would start saying zinc is really good for COVID, you couldn't get zinc. As soon as they would say elderberries, first it was elderberries are bad, and then all of a sudden they were, and and so we did. We've had 2 good years, but it's been I think like everybody else, it was not easy for us. COVID was not just getting products to people, trying to help them find health, spending a lot of time on the phone with people, and not really being able to get the product they needed that I knew they needed. It had its own challenges through that time.
How much of the business and the work that you guys do is education versus simply just providing the product?
So we do a catalog, has 44 articles in every catalog of education. So our model is to sell by education. So it's everything. Yeah.
So who does the majority of the education? Are you using outsourced resources? Is this people inside the company? How are you?
Yeah, we got a team. My mom is still heavily involved in she has the final say in every article and every new product. And as long as she's willing and able to do that, I will never step away from that, because because this is her life, and her experience too. She doesn't have any initials behind her name, but she will take on anything from cancer to diabetes to those type of things. It has, or will lead, when I say take on, she's not a doctor. We're not doctors, but we can put you in connection with somebody that can walk you down the street to a healthier you. With no matter what you're facing, there's people out there that can do that, and it's their certifications, and they're professionals in those fields, and we have the products we sell because of them, and they are writing a lot of articles for us, so that if you're not dealing with any of that stuff, you can educate yourself so you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah. Daniel, what are you guys right now? You said that you kind of, since COVID, kind of had a different vision with there being sourcing problems and things like that. What do you kind of see as the greatest opportunity as things move forward as you're leading the company?
So you just opened a can of worms. I believe, and this is some strong statements, and hopefully I'm proven wrong, but back to what I said about COVID, there was some interesting information that was out there. A lot of things. I think a lot of people in our demographic, people that are open to alternative health, are also open to the fact that the COVID kind of seemed narrative based, and possibly not the science, or I'm saying not science, but the science, which leaves a lot of questions, and I will not go down that road. But I will say that the same players who had played with our medical fields and created a scenario where they could roll that out and that could happen, I believe are coming after the food. Next. Okay. So I think we know, or we teach, that food can be your number one source of health, right? Like you are what you eat. They say that too, and they know that. They know these facts, and I don't think we fully know, but I do know a lot of these players have literally said they're going after the food. And we hear there's more and more rumors, there's more and more bubbles and that type of thing. Ultimately, you can take supplements, you can, exercise, you can do all the things for your health, but you need to eat healthy. And eating healthy has become more and more of a challenge because of all the things on the back of your label. A lot of our food is being shipped in from other countries. So the big thing that I'm moving into right now is teaching people and helping people to know how to eat closer to home and have more control. Raise gardens. If you can't raise a garden, support a local food stand. If you can't do that, there's steps to controlling your food, which is also controlling your health. And it may save you down the road.
So are there active programs that you're putting together from an education standpoint? Are you putting those kind of in your newsletter and blogs? What are you doing to kind of?
This stuff is just starting to show up in our catalog. If you are a customer of ours or call and request it, once you order from us, you'll automatically get it. But you can just call our 800 number or natureswarehouse.net, hop on there, send us an email. But that catalog will start having articles in there, because I've just seen this rolling out in the last two months. I've suddenly said, hey, wait, they're coming after the food. Then more recently, I was asked to speak at a thing right on this topic, right, at a convention, and I started studying, and I didn't realize how much was there. And so yeah, there's going to be articles rolling out in there, and also I would like to put some things together, and we have some resources. I have a list, depending where you live I have a list where small farms call me and get their names put on a list that's available free for anybody of just local farms that have raising chickens, cows, maybe milk or cheese, in tomato season, they might have tomatoes. So if you want to can or do that type of thing, and that's just something free we do. We make our money off of selling supplements, and we sell some food. We have health foods too, and bulk foods and that type of thing. I can't sell those local farmers because there's not enough money
Right.
in the game.
Right. Sure.
I want to see you do. I know for a fact, if you go down that path and start paying attention to yourself and controlling your health, you'll need me when we're going to be here. But in the meantime, connect with locals.
Yeah. What are some of your top selling supplements? What are the things that people come to you most often for?
We do really well in the prenatal side of things.
Okay.
When mom's finding out they're pregnant, because my mom had so much experience. We have a great prenatal, Mama Bear prenatal, big seller. A lot of kid supplements, especially for things like maybe attention deficit ADD or those type of things. Immune products, especially this time of year, kids going back to school, got a lot of great immune products. Adults too. This time of year, you need to be getting prepared. Winter's coming, so that's our number ones.
What is when somebody finds out about you, what do you typically find is the greatest gap in education that you have to kind of get over?
Right. That's a great question. The greatest gap. So I think the biggest thing is that we struggle with is people mostly will agree with us. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're right. You can't do processed sugars. You can't do white flours." And the thing is, if you want your child health to change, you cannot do white sugar. You cannot do processed flour. None. Especially if you're dealing with a health issue where you're trying to overcome. You just cannot do it. And it's in everything. And probably the comfort food when you're really, really dealing and a little bit down because of how you're feeling is going to have everything in it that's bad. And you're like, well, I'm not eating a donut. I'm just having a croissant or something like that.
Yeah.
It's loaded with all the things that are ruining your health. And I personally have not had a donut in 7 years. Like, that's how you have to be if you're going to control your health. That committed.
Wow. So if someone was looking for a lifestyle like that, I mean, you guys make everything available? Because you're talking about mainly supplements. It seems like a lot of this also, like you said, your passion around food. Some of this is food related. Can they get access to some of the food too? Or you're talking about these local farms, and then do you have other partners, or what's the best way for someone who's kind of trying to pursue a lifestyle like that?
You know, we sell a lot of specialty type health foods and some bulk foods through Nature's Warehouse. We don't. So a lot of it's available in the grocery store. It's all around you, and for me to ship it from here all the way to you is not going to make any sense. We spend our time trying to make sure that we have the things that you're going to have a hard time finding at the grocery store, specialty type items, or things that they're being overcharged at the grocery store, where we can save you some money. Shipping is expensive, and if you can get a local, we'll just educate you on that. You can get a local.
So, I mean, you really seem passionate about the education. You're selling the supplements. You've got that part of your business. What is the greatest financial that kind of benefits the business, keeps the business going? Where's the greatest opportunity that you see as we kind of move forward? If you're kind of referring people to farms and things like that and doing that through free education, where do you kind of see the greatest opportunity for your business to continue on to a generation 3, a generation 4?
Sure. Well, there's 2 questions there. One is, I kind of like, if you're referring people to farms, why will they still come to you? Ultimately, if you want to totally control your health by diet, you would probably have to read a fully vegetarian, fully raw, partially fermented, lots of nuts. In our present real world, my mom does that.
Wow.
My mom does that. Always has. We were on constant diets. I don't live that way. So what do? I supplement with supplements. 90% of us do. You are probably going to after this talk, you're probably going to make sure you have a little more salad at lunch today. but you're still going to have like a burger or something like that. I mean, unless you're ready to swipe the burger right off, you should probably be, making sure you're taking probiotics, making sure you're taking some greens so that's where we will always be there, and you will always need us in today's lifestyle to show up at that meeting and eat and not look weird, real world stuff, right? Yeah. Part two of your question, we're just continue to make sure that we have all the supplement market is constantly changing. A couple years ago we heard CBD, a couple years before that it was wheatgrass. We'll help you navigate all that. We'll have CBD and we'll have wheatgrass if you want them. I take them both. But that's what we are. You could buy some of our products from Amazon or wherever. But if you are looking at your kid, let's just say your daughter, 13 years old, has a urinary tract infection.
Right.
I always go to that one because it's actually very easy to deal with that naturally.
Okay.
But it's really, really scary, and you have to. And not being why I say educational is so important is because we're not doctors. We cannot prescribe you or tell you what to do. We can give you literature, we can give you connections, we can give you the products I can tell you what we sold, $100,000 of in the last year for that exact situation.
Sure. And
we got testimonies about. I can give you all that, right?
Right.
But you have to know this is right for you and your daughter. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I love that. The other thing is into the future, something that we're launching is we're coming out with tear open packs to people on the go. You get all your supplements in get like a case of supplements to last you a month. So all the things that are important to you. There are other companies out there doing it, but they have their own brands. Yeah. Reason why we're not doing that. It's not our brands. We make no supplements. Yeah. I spend all my time connecting. I can tell you how now vitamin C compares to Zayler's, compares to Irwin Natural, compares to, and we're making packets with the best of everything. Wow. And you can tell us what you want in your packet. I don't really like their vitamin C. It kind of bothers my stomach. Okay, which one do you like? Let's get it in that packet. You see what I'm saying? And then so that's as easy as going to work in the morning, grabbing a handful out of that, throwing in your lunch pail, you're set.
That's fantastic. No, that would be perfect, because I think convenience is maybe the number one thing that a lot of us struggle with. Daniel, is there anything that we haven't talked about in our interview today that you were hoping you'd get a chance to share on?
No, my mind is so caught up right now in eating local. One thing I did want to say. Yeah. Real quick with that. I love examples. Garlic. Yeah. Okay. Garlic is something that is super healthy. One of the most powerful herbs / roots out there. I eat a lot of it. I supplement with it and stuff. Garlic that you're buying at Aldi's, right? Yep. It's changing in price. At one point, and when I started using this example, at that time it was, I don't know what it is right now, but it was 59 cents a pound. At that time, that was about 4 years ago, I could not buy it from a local farmer. And I deal with a lot of Amish farmers and those type of things that were organic and following. They could not grow it for under $6 to $7 a pound, my cost. Okay. Really? So now that's certified organic coming from Aldi's. Yep. But we know it says China right on the package. So that's the flag I want to raise to everybody is, do you know where your food is? Oh, that's good. Yeah. It is from. And good food costs. Good supplements cost. It's just not cheap. And there's nothing better. There's nothing that you can better invest in than your own health. Absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. And unfortunately, too many people make the choice to invest in their health when it's too late. Yes. And your children. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Great point. Great point. Hey, Daniel, if people want to follow what you're doing, if they want to keep up with
Nature's Warehouse or the newsletters or anything like that, what's the best way for them to do that and keep in touch with you?
So yeah, get on our website, natureswarehouse.net.
Okay.
And all our contacts are there. A little story about the Laudon family. You can see me on there. Reach out. You can get on our blog. When we send out emails about weekly, something like that. And you can shoot us an email, a text message. We have a text line, a chat on there. Ask for a catalog. Just say your address. Can I please have a catalog? And we are on Facebook and all the Facebook, Instagram, and I believe Twitter. So.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So we've come to the end of the show. I told you that this question was coming. It's my favorite question to get to ask everyone. In 3 generations, what do you hope your great grandchildren remember about you?
I think I feel like I was out, like I told you, doing construction. Now here I am selling supplements. I enjoy business. I enjoy helping people. Ultimately, because I don't know what my next chapter is. Like this, God has me here right now, and I don't know if it'll be here tomorrow, right? But I know as God opens, I might be out there farming. if there's not fresh food and people need it, I will be out there farming because I believe in it. So I want to, when I go, I want there to be the fact that I created value for others in my space.
I love that. That's so good. Oh, Daniel, thank you so much for being with us. What a great time and what a great, everyone, I would encourage you to go visit Nature's Warehouse, natureswarehouse.net, follow their articles, their blogs, and this time, as he's saying, where we need to be taking control of our health. We need to, and we don't know what's coming next, but we never know. But to be informed and to be educated and to operate inside of truth is the most important thing we can do. And we are in control of that decision. So I'd encourage you to reach out to them. I'd encourage you to kind of follow their website, look at their supplements. Daniel, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, thank you. So everyone, we will be with you again next time. God bless you. Have a fantastic day.